Hello. So today I want to talk about expectations. That's just a different expectations. I've been talking to a number of parents over the last month, and I think it's still fair to say that what parents are expecting from interventions, talking to professionals, or talking to myself, I feel that they're still wanting a final, my child's going to do exactly as they're told, which isn't obviously going to happen. So I thought it would be a really good idea to sort of say, whilst we're dealing with really challenging behaviours, so that's the meltdowns, aggression, shouting, swearing, and in some cases threats to harm themselves or others. It's we have been given advice and we've thought about it, and generally, and I was in this bracket by saying, we've tried that, it doesn't work. I used to say that a lot. But today I want to gently challenge that idea, because the problem usually isn't what we've tried, it's what we expected it to do. That's the biggest thing. What are we expecting it to do? So, when we're given strategies, whether it's about staying calm ourselves, challenging our language, reducing the demands, and validating their feelings, there's often an unspoken expectation. And that is, if I do this, my child will stop doing that. And schools have the same sort of expectation as well, to be honest. But it's not how it works. Because our child's behaviour isn't just behaviour. As you know, I've said it plenty of time, it's communication driven. So it's the anxiety, it's the overwhelm, it's stress. And from all of that, it's unmet needs. So when we change our approach, we're not switching off the behaviour. What we're doing is we're starting a long-term process of rewiring how a child feels, processes and responses. So what should we really expect instead? So has it stopped the behaviour? No, of course it hasn't. So what we need to start asking ourselves is this intensity reducing over time? Are recovery times getting shorter? And are there fewer extreme moments? We're not going to change it, so we're not going to stop them. We are going to see changes and differences. And this is what we have to be looking at to know that what we're doing is working. Because it doesn't look like switching a switch to turn things off. It's looking more like a meltdown that lasts for 45 minutes instead of 2 hours. That's progress. Aggression that becomes verbal instead of physical. That's progress. And a child who still struggles but recovers quickly. Again, that's progress. That's what we're going to measure. What we are doing, does it work? Not, is my child now compliant? But here's a bit that nobody really tells you, and I've probably not said it clearly enough, and it took me a long time. This can take months, sometimes years. For my family, including my son, it took years. Not because I was doing it wrong, but because my child, your child's nervous system has learned over time to react in a certain way. And now you're asking it to feel safe enough to respond differently. Now that's only going to happen through repetition, consistency, safety, and trust. Think of it like learning a new language. You don't say something once and expect fluency. It takes hundreds or thousands of times of repetition. I remember doing French at school. The repetitiveness of headphones on in the language lab on a computer and having to repeat things over and over and over again. I hated it. I didn't do it. I didn't repeat it. I just shut down because foreign languages was just not for me, and I couldn't do it. So I didn't repeat it, and I didn't get them understand it. But if we continually try, it will work. Just as an idea, we've had a relocation of the local co-op moved from one area of the road to the opposite area further down. So they've rebuilt it, put in new pathways and that, and then they put up a new hedge saplings. Now that meant you're having to walk probably 50 yards longer than just cutting through across some grass. But the hedge was supposed to do this. People don't like to walk an extra 50 yards, so they've trundled through the middle and damaged the hedge and everything else. So what did happen? They put up a fence to help the hedge grow and people to walk 50 yards. People still wouldn't walk the 50 yards. They were climbing the fence, and eventually the fence broke and the hedge. And over time, people consistently took this shortcut that it followed out a path. And you could see this path quite clearly, and everybody was going to take it because walking the 50 yards just wasn't going to happen. So rather than trying to force people to do this extra 50 meters, 50 yards, because it was quite clearly this was the best route to take, put a pathway down through there, just put a section and a gate almost to sort of say this is a pedestrian way, the cars can go that way, much safer for everybody. But they keep trying, they keep putting up, but it's just not working. So when we see something that's there and we consistently do it, it will change. I think that if the co-op continue, what they'll be doing is putting something that will be indestructible. People will either decide to walk the 50 yards or they'll go somewhere else. Because there's another shop that's a little bit further down, and they'll do that walk or not come up there. So consistency, and we will start seeing repetition of this pathway. People continue to do it. You can see where they're going to go. If we do that with our child and rewiring, we will see the repetition. The child will take that journey, that expectation, that sort of thing there. So when parents say we've tried that, it didn't work, we've got to ask ourselves a different question, maybe a better question. What were we actually expecting to happen? How long have we actually tried it for? And how consistently was it used? Because trying something once or a few days or only in the time of crisis is not enough to change and to challenge the behaviours. These strategies do work and will work over time, but not in the moment. Stick with it. It's not about fixing your child, it's about reducing the distress, building safety, and helping them cope better over time. And yes, the anxiety may never fully go away, the behaviours may not disappear completely, but they can become less intense, less frequent, and more manageable. And your child can learn safer ways to express what's going on. If you remember, what I say is, obviously I did something wrong. I'm sorry. What would you like me to do differently? And can I ask? The way you responded, could you have done something differently? And could I suggest a different approach? That sort of thing. So if you're feeling like nothing is working, you're probably closer than you think to the changes. Keep going, stay consistent, and focus on small changes over time, not instant results, because that's where real progress will happen. So hopefully that's just made it a bit clearer, because I'm not sure if I've been clear enough when saying that the information I provide is only generic or stuff that worked for me and my family or have worked for other families. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's definitely going to work for your families. You have to adapt to your own circumstances and your own family needs. Use the template that we're giving you from the generic information and then adapt it to your situation. But don't say we've tried and it doesn't work. It is working. You'll notice it, particularly if you've got siblings, because your child will probably start reinforcing the information you're giving to them to the siblings by sort of saying, "Well, they're not doing this, and you should be doing this." That is an indication of, oh, it is going in, it is working, but at this minute in time, it doesn't apply to them because they haven't made that connection yet. The processing hasn't quite gone in, but you can be sure it's in there. It's learning because they're repeating it to the siblings. So look for the subtle changes. That will give you encouragement to know that what you are doing and what you're implementing is working. I know it works. I've been there, I've done it, I've tried it. And it was years, and I mean years, before I saw fruition of the hard work we put in to help our children be less stressful, less anxious. Hasn't completely disappeared. The frustrations and everything else are still there, but they are significantly less, and that is a win. So keep with it, stick to the plan, and keep asking questions. Thank you very much. Bye bye.